yeah, in this class, it's just going to be 30 minutes. It's pretty quick. So normally Pilates classes are sort of 45 minutes, 60 minutes. So it's a bit of an express class. I'll try and do different exercises each week so that you get a bit of variety. And also these live classes they're recorded, so they're saved on our Facebook page afterwards, and we'll also probably put them on our Instagram page. So if you didn't see them the first time round and you're just finding out a bit later about it, then you'll be able to find them on Instagram as well. So don't worry, you can share them with friends. You can do them over and over again if you like to. Hello, someone's joining us. That's good. So yeah, when you drop in, just say hi, just in the comments, just so that I know who's here. Otherwise, I just have a bit of a surprise afterwards when people tell me that they've joined in. So yeah, the sport and active communities just want to give something back while we're all kind of stuck at home, and give us a chance to kind of just take a bit of time for ourselves, do something nice for our bodies, and just help kind of relax any tight muscles. And maybe if you've got any aches and pains, you know, sometimes I find Jen Fairfield's back. Hi, Jen. If you've got any aches and pains, I always find that if I do a Pilates class, just a quick one, it always kind of resets. It's a bit of a reset button for me. It just kind of brings everything back into alignment, and it's just feels like I've given myself a bit of a free massage without actually massaging. So yeah, hopefully you'll feel the same afterwards. You can't feel any worse. That's what I would say. So just gonna have a little drink, and then we're gonna get started. A lot of talking makes my throat dry. Okay, so we're going to start off laying down on the mat, as we always do, only because I don't have a camera that's technical enough to put full height in. Otherwise, we might start standing. Maybe down the line, down the weeks, we might be able to add those things in. But for now, we're just going to start off laying down. So nice and relaxing. Okay, so just letting the head just soften down into the mat. The spine just relax as much as possible. So sometimes it's just a bit of an equalizing kind of movement, just to let everything soften and melt down into the mat. So if you have a mat, great. If you're just doing this on a carpet, that's fine too. I wouldn't recommend doing it on a hard floor unless you have no other option, just because if you're quite bony, you might feel some of the movements. So maybe try like using a towel or something like that. But anyway, so just to say that if anyone does have any injuries or anything, just kind of listen to your body, and throughout all of these exercises, if anything causes a sharp pain or something that doesn't feel good, then just stop and take a stretch and just check in with your body. A light kind of muscle activation feeling is what we want. So if you feel that and you think, oh, I don't know if I'm, you know, am I injuring myself? You'll know the difference. So a little bit of movement is good. The muscles need to wake up. The deep stabilizing muscles that we can't see, they need to be woken up quite a bit for most of us. So, you know, just work with your body, connect to yourself, just check in how you're feeling throughout the next 30 minutes. We might overrun a bit because we're starting a little bit late. Okay, so relax the arms down and relax the head. Just turn the head from side to side, and just make sure that you're kind of getting rid of any tension in the neck that might crept in. And then end with your face, kind of facing up to the ceiling, so that your neck is nice and long. And we're just going to exhale and just nod our chin down, which feels a bit weird and it gives us a bit of a double chin, but it's okay, no one can see. So just nod the chin down, and then inhale and just take it up slightly. So you're just going to exhale, nod the chin down, inhale, move the chin up. One more time, exhale and inhale, and then just find a position where you feel comfortable, your neck is nice and extended, it's not stretching too much, it's just a comfortable place to hold. Okay, so we're going to tune into these lower abdominals now. So I want you to think about every time you inhale, your belly expands, and then every time you exhale, your belly just contracts slightly and the muscles draw into the center line of the body. As you do that exhale, lift the belly in and up as well, just to activate everything. So the front of the body and the back of the body, all these muscles work together. And then as you inhale again, just keep a light contraction with that belly lifted in and up. Yeah, so all the way through, keep a light contraction so that you can still breathe, so you're not holding your breath. Then relax the arms down. So we're going to just start off with some simple knee folds, and that means just floating our knee above our hips. So we're going to exhale and move this leg that's closest to the camera, or whatever you're watching on. Exhale and lift it up. So you've got this 90-degree angle behind your knee, and your knees right above your hips. So if you're not sure if you're in the right position, when you stretch your arm out long, your palm should just touch your knee. If you're in the wrong position, your elbow will be bent. So you want a nice straight arm. Okay, so you're just going to tap down on an inhale. Exhale, lift it up. We're just going to do 4 on this leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you're really drawing into your low belly. One more. Good. And then just place that foot down. We're going to go straight over to the other leg. So we're going to exhale, float up. Inhale to tap down. But all the while you're doing this, you might want to put your hands on your hips and just check that your hips are staying level and they're not turning from side to side. Yeah, so you're going to keep everything still by controlling these deep muscles. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Now we're going to alternate. So we're going to lift the front leg and then change mid-air and lift the back leg. On an exhale. So you swap in the middle. Exhale. Inhale when your foot touches the floor. Exhale, swap. So this might feel a little bit more challenging. You might feel a little bit of shaking going on. But just try and draw everything into the center to help stabilize those hips. Good. Keep the neck extended and just looking up to the ceiling for now. So I'll just talk you through these moves. You shouldn't need to lift your head or twist or do any kind of contorting movements just to see the screen, hopefully. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then just place both feet down. And if you need to, just sway the legs from side to side just to release through the low back. Just move slowly. Nothing too crazy. Good. And then just bring those knees back to center. Feet are hip distance. They're in line with your sitting bones. So everything's in good alignment. Interlace the fingers. We're going to start with a chest lift as well. So we're going to bring in upper abdominals now. We just woke up the lower abdominals. And now the upper abdominals, time to wake up. So elbows nice and wide. Exhale and lift. Look straight through your knees. We want a bit more of a challenge. I think we all do right now. So we're going to inhale, reach towards our legs. Lift ourselves up a tiny bit higher. Keep that height as you bring the hands back to the head and then lower down. With control and nice and slowly. Let's do 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Grab the legs, pull yourself up. Hands back to the head and lower. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Reach. Lift. Hands back to head and lower. 1 more. I've lost count now. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Lift. Exhale, hands back to head. This is the last one, so it's always the hardest. Let's slow it down. Good. And lower down. Now keep those elbows nice and wide. Now we're going to try and progress this a little bit by making it a bit more challenging, but we're going to hold the head and the shoulders off of the floor for quite a long extended period now. So make sure that your head, the whole weight of it is in your hands. And as you exhale and lift up, you want to feel comfortable, okay? So keep the chin quite tucked, elbows nice and wide. You're holding the weight of your head with your hands, and you shouldn't feel like your neck is straining in any way. But if at any point it does, just take the head back down. Okay, so we're going to bring the feet and knees together, and then we're going to extend the front leg just at the lower leg, so the knees stay at the same height. Now look down at your pelvis and just make sure it stays really happy and quiet. And then we're going to inhale and just take the leg out to the side, about this much. And then as we exhale, bring the knees back together. So we inhale, take the leg out, about this much, and then back. You don't have to go big on this one. We're doing 8. So by number 8, you should feel like it's quite challenging. If you want a little bit more work, take the leg further away from the middle of the body. But don't go too mad, because by number 8, you're going to be feeling it, I promise you. Okay, so we're about halfway. Let's do 4 more. Inhale out. Exhale to come back to center. 3. And 2. And 1. Good, lower that leg back down. Let's just take a little break in between before we go to the other side. So lower the head and the shoulders down. If you were holding your breath throughout the whole thing, which some people do when they're concentrating, really try and focus on breathing in and out, okay, the whole way through the next exercise. So we're going to lift up, find a comfortable position for the head, keep the pelvis nice and level rather than tilting or rocking. Knees together, extend the other leg, and then we just take it out to the side. It's quite hard for you to see at this angle, isn't it? But hopefully you can see that my knee is just coming away and then bringing it back to center and joining the other knee. So let's go for this. Inhale out to the side, keep the elbows wide, don't let them creep in around your face as it gets more difficult. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Slowly bring that leg down and let the head come down, and just hug the knees in if you feel you need a little stretch into your lower back. Sometimes when we're activating these muscles, the back muscles are also switching on. Well, they are, not sometimes, they are all the time. But if you're really strongly contracting, it might be pulling a little bit on your lower back. So just release. Oh, my stomach's making funny noises. Need some lunch. Okay, so feet are coming down. Now we're going to come into the 100, which is not everyone's favourite exercise, admittedly, but it is a Pilates exercise and it should be in pretty much all classes. So if I don't do it, I'll get told off. So we're going to do maybe half of the 100s because it's quite long. The main benefit of this one, just to let you know, Joseph Pilates created it to flush out toxins. So if you're feeling a little bit toxic in any way, then this should help. Okay, so we're going to reach the arms back with the head down for now. Take a long stretch with those arms, keeping the ribs down so they're not coming away from the mat. And then we're going to exhale and lift the head and the shoulders and bring those hands to mid-thigh height. So the arms are going to stay long. We're not going to have floppy wrists. We're going to have nice strong wrists, shoulders drawn down away from the ears, mid-thigh to mat. This is our movement kind of pattern, but we're going to go really fast. And this is going to make the upper body unstable as we pump the arms super strong and fast. And we have to draw all the abdominal muscles and everything in to keep ourselves nice and still. So we're going to breathe naturally and normally, or kind of. We're going to inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 as we pump with the arms. So let's go. Reach the fingers forward as far as you can. Lift the head and shoulders as much as you can off the floor. If it starts to bother your neck, just place one hand behind. Let's get going. Let's pump these arms. In 2, 3, 4, 5 with a breath. And out 2, 3, 4, 5. So both arms if you want them. In 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the breath going if you can. Keep drawing the belly in every time you exhale. And exhale. Let's go. Inhaling and exhaling. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can take your legs to that lovely tabletop position that we were in earlier. This is a bit more challenging for the lower abdominals. If you want even more, you can stretch the legs long and you can take them low, but the lower you go, the harder it is. So back off a little bit if you've gone too far. You can always change. Try the more kind of challenging positions, but if you want to make it a little bit easier, then back off, take an earlier version. You can have one leg in the air, or you can come back to both feet on the floor. So whatever move you're doing or whatever position you have your legs in, just keep those arms going, keep the breath coming in. Should be feeling some warming sensation in the front of the body. I know I am. So we're just going to do 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly bring the upper body down, and if you need to, just hug the legs in, or you might want to take a full body stretch at this point. Whatever feels good for you is perfect. Okay, so reaching those arms away, reaching the toes away if you're taking a full body stretch. Big inhale and exhale. Okay, now we're going to go into the roll up now. This can be challenging for some people, so we're going to try the first one together, and then I'm going to give you a modification for the next couple. Okay, so bring the legs together, feet together, knees together, squeeze the hips together as well. So you're going to inhale, take those arms back. Now you're going to bring the arms up and over the body. We're going to lift ourselves up. So first off, we're going to exhale and lift our head and look down at our feet. And then we're going to carry on by lifting up. Now you've got to squeeze your bottom a lot here and really draw your belly in and up. So you're going to exhale and slowly lift yourself off of the floor. Now if that's really hard and you feel yourself kind of having to do this, throw yourself in the air, that's not what we want, okay? That's not good for the back. So if you need to, you're just going to do the roll down, and then you're going to turn onto your side, come up to seated and roll down again. You're going to keep doing the roll down until you get strong enough to do the roll up as well. So the roll down, for everyone that's already up there, you're going to reach those arms out. The feet are flexed. I'm just going to move myself back slightly so you can see my feet are flexed, or just about. And then we're going to roll back really slowly through each section of the spine. But first thing we need to do is lift the belly in and up, nice straight spine, and then start to tuck the pelvis under. So keep pushing the feet down into the floor and lowering yourself down one section at a time with the spine. And then once you get there, you reach out again, take an inhale, exhale, coming up again. So push the feet down into the floor, squeeze everything nice and strong, and then sit tall. We're just going to do this one more time. So if you're now doing just the roll down, just do that a few more times, and then we'll move on to the next move. So we're going to exhale. We're going to count to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come up one more time. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So 5, 4, 3 are the hardest parts, I would say. They're the bits to practice, but we won't do too many more of those because they can be quite challenging. Good practice. See how you get on. Come back and try it next week. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of rolling now, but we've got 3 options for rolling. So you don't have to roll if your back is feeling niggly or you just don't want to roll because you've got a hard floor. Any of those reasons are completely valid and you don't have to roll. But I've got 3 options for you today. So we're going to hug the knees in and the feet quite close to the body. So to roll, when we get there, you've got to have a rounded spine and you've got to tuck your chin in. So you won't be able to roll with a flat back. But first off, we're just going to take the feet off the floor. So we're just going to float the feet up and balance on our sitting bones here. So you're going to scoop the belly in and up. And to hold here, you're using your abdominal muscles. You can't balance here without using them, okay? So this is our level 1, and you can stay here if you don't want to roll. If you want to try a slow roll, which is a bit less kind of intense and a bit less potentially bruising on the spine, then all you need to do is just hold on underneath the knees. We're going to scoop the belly, tuck the pelvis, and just slowly roll back. So it's almost like you're just sitting back really slowly. And then you come down to the floor, you hug the knees into the chest. Then to come back up, you push the knees away, and that's just automatically going to help you roll back up. So it's a super slow-mo version. Okay, so if you want to carry on doing that, do that. If not, we're going to do 2 full rollbacks, rolling like a ball if you want to. Hug the knees in so you make yourself into the smallest position possible. Really scoop the belly. Head is tucked down now, so you're looking at your belly, keeping the neck safe. You're going to inhale to roll back. Exhale to roll back up and balance if you can. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you've got a really hard floor, you will have felt that a little bit, so just be careful, okay? Okay, so now we're going to try the saw, which is a movement that you need to be able to sit quite tall. I'm just going to work out which way is best to show you. So your legs are quite wide. There's a little bit of a twist in this, and then we're going to reach over. One thing I want you to think about is if you can't get your legs completely flat onto the floor, if you've got tight hamstrings, just bend the knees, okay? So you're going to do the same move. All we're doing is twisting the body to the side and then reaching forwards with a slightly different arm movement, which I'll show you in a second. But the one thing to think about is just to keep the hips both down on the floor, because sometimes what happens is when we twist, we do this and then we lift this opposite hip off of the floor to make it easier and cheat slightly. I want you to imagine that your hips are glued down to the mat and you can't move. Okay, so I'm going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully, let's move back a little bit so you can see feet. Hopefully they're clean. Okay, so we're going to reach the arms out. Flex the feet if you've got your legs completely straight. If you've got your knees bent, then you don't need to flex your feet so much. Okay, so you're going to sit really tall. I'm going to have to move forward because I don't have enough room behind me with the wall there. So you're going to twist to the side. And then you're going to reach forwards, try and reach past your foot. Yeah, so reach to the outside of your foot and past it if you can. Your head comes down towards your knee and the arm that's behind you is reaching back really long. So you keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Keep the opposite hip down as well, lots to think about. And then you inhale to come back up and stretch the arms long. Let's go the other way. So twist. Keep exhaling as you reach past the outside of the foot if you can, if you have the flexibility. Reach the other arm back. Keep exhaling even as you come up actually. and then inhale to come back. We're going to do one more each side. Exhale, twist. Keep exhaling as you... Let's come on to our backs again, just for a little bit of a crisscross to work out abdominals a bit more. So our feet are in line with our bottom again, a little bit closer perhaps just for now, towards the bottom. And then we're going to come into crisscross. So we've got two options. In fact, let's go for a slightly easier option. It's not that easy, but it's just different. Okay, so you're going to bring your hands behind your head again. We're going to exhale and lift up through the center, and then we're going to take our front arm and reach it towards the back. So it's going outside the knee. Yeah, so you're reaching as if you're trying to touch the space on the outside of the knee. Now you're going to lift up and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center, and then the hand comes back to the head. We stay lifted, reach the other leg through the middle, then out to the side. We go for 5, 4, 3. So you're exhaling as you pulse. And 1. Back to center. Let's do one more each side. So reach through the middle first, then take the hand to the outside of the knee and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. One last change over. Reach through and out to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower the head down. Okay, let's hug the legs in and then extend them to the ceiling as straight as you can get them. Even if your legs are slightly bent like this, that's fine. Just try and get them as straight as you can. Okay, so we're going to do lift and lower. Hands are going to come back to behind the head. You can keep your head down again if your neck is bothering you, but if not, exhale, lift up and keep that lift. Now you're going to squeeze the legs together, squeeze at the heels connect and the toes slightly apart. And then you're going to keep the legs together. As you inhale, just lower them down just a few inches. And then exhale, pull into your lower abdominals to lift back up to 90 degrees. Let's do 4 more. Inhale, lower, go as low as you feel you can. Exhale, come back up. Keep the elbows wide rather than squash in the face. Exhale, lift. Good. 2 more. This is good stuff. This is super strong. Exhale as you lift. And 1 last time. Good. So your back shouldn't be arching off of the floor. Hopefully it's nice and happy. Now you're going to hold on behind one leg, either underneath the knee or at the ankle if you can reach it. And then you're going to stretch the other leg long towards the floor. Keep it lifted slightly off of the floor rather than relaxing it down, but keep stretching long. So if you're holding here, that's fine. And then you're going to swap in the middle. Pull and pull a little bit more as you exhale. So you've got to inhale through the middle as you swap legs and exhale. Yeah, so grab on wherever you can. Hopefully your head is lifted, but it's kind of helped by the fact that you're pulling on your legs. So you're looking straight ahead. Let's go for 6, 5, pulse, pulse, 4, and 3, and 2. Keep lifting that belly and the nut to keep your torso really stable. And 1. Good. And then just bring the knees in and lower the head down. Okay, we're going to roll ourselves up to seated. And then we're going to come onto our side. I'm just going to check the time, so see how long we've got. Time goes so quickly here. Okay, line yourself up with the back edge of the mat. We've got to do a little bit of side lying work because we're concentrating on abs and I've lost track of time. So feet are going to come slightly forward, but the body is in a straight line, in line with the back edge of your mat or whatever you have to hand. You might not be on a mat, you might be on a nice carpet. Okay, so stretch both legs away, flex the feet, especially the bottom foot, because that has to stay in contact with the mat. And the underneath part of this bottom leg is the one that's super active, believe it or not, more active slightly than the top leg, but the whole body is working. So you're going to lift the belly in and up, nice and strong, fingers just resting in front. Reach the top leg even longer, squeeze both sides of your bottom to keep your hips level, and then we're going to kick forwards without moving this top part of the body. So go small to start with, and then if you feel stable, you can always go big. You can get that but all the way up to your head if you like, if you're super flexible. But this is more about building strength than flexibility. So we want to keep everything nice and slow and controlled. Let's do 4 more. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Keep lifting belly in and up to keep stable. and keep both hips stacked by squeezing both sides of your bottom. 2 more. And 1. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Now take this top leg in line with your body so that it's slightly different position to your bottom leg. And then all you're going to do is just push that top hip down slightly and then keep lifting the leg up. So exhale, lift, inhale, lower. You can relax the arm unless you feel your hips are starting to cheat a little bit and lift and move around. So you can always just check in with them. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring those legs in line, back in line with the body, so they're both one on top of the other now. Lay on your arms so that your neck is nice and long. And then all I want you to think about doing is lifting the belly in and up and stretching both legs really far, excuse me, away from your head. So as long and as far away as possible. So they're going to stretch super long and then they automatically just float up because you're stretching them so much. Keep your head down and relaxed. Good, so you're holding here, you're just breathing normally. You can flex the feet if it feels more comfortable. Imagine that you're standing on the floor. So this part of the body is working really strongly now, contracting, and then lower. We're going to do that one more time. Froggy, my friend. So you're going to lift up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to hold the top leg where it is, and we're going to lift and lower the bottom leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're not going to do the other side just yet because since we're already almost on our front, we're just going to turn over and do a little bit of work for the back of the body. I should probably have turned myself around because now you can see my bottom there. Okay, so we're going to relax the head down and just make a little pillow underneath our forehead. Now I want you to just stretch the legs really long back behind you so that when your feet are still on the floor, you're stretching your legs so long that your knees lift off. So your knees lift off first, and then all we're going to do is just take the front leg and lift it up a little bit higher, but keep reaching it long. So it's not again about height, it's about reaching as far back as you can, but you're lifting with these muscles in your glutes. So they're initiating the movement. You're going to hold that there for a couple more seconds, keeping both hips down on the floor. Belly lifted in and up as well, just slightly, and then relax down. Let's try the other side. So we're going to stretch the leg long first, and then float it up. Reach long with that leg. Keep reaching really long. Really, really long. As if you're trying to touch something behind you with your toes, and then lower down. Let's just do that one more each time on each side. So stretch and lift, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Other leg comes up. So we're just activating the back of the body, the glutes, and a little bit with the lower back muscles as well. If you feel them, they'll be quite strongly contracted here. Good, and relax down. Now we're going to do a little bit of swimming. So I'm just going to move my body down a bit so I've got some space. We're going to take our arms above our head, but we want to be resting on the bottom ribs. So we're not completely laying flat. We're slightly lifted, and our shoulders are away from our ears. Okay, now we're going to stretch the front arm forward, but without moving our body. So keeping our body really still, and then the opposite leg comes up. And then we relax down, we take the other arm and leg. So opposite arm and opposite leg, reach away from our center line. So from our waist, we're stretching long, and then lower. Now we're going to do that a little bit faster, and if you can, try and take the legs, both legs off the floor, both arms, thumbs facing up, and then we're going to really go fast, alternating arm and legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring the hands under the shoulders, push yourself back, and let's turn around and do the other leg kicks so we don't forget. So I feel like I've gone a bit out of focus now, so I'm just going to move from that. There we go. So lying in line with the back edge of the mat, or whatever you have to hand, feet forward, ankles stacked, knees stacked, hips stacked. Don't let those hips cheat. Underneath, waist lifted, belly lifted in and up. Okay, top leg lifts up to hip height. Bottom foot flexed and pushes into the floor. Let's inhale forwards. Exhale back. Remember, upper body does not move. If you feel like you're doing this, well, actually, you probably go the other way. You probably lean back and do this kind of thing. That's not really working. So what we want to do is keep everything really still, squeeze both sides of your bottom, and then kick forwards really slowly, pushing down on that foot that's anchored to the floor. So go small to start with, and then once you've found that stability and you're feeling really solid, then you can go bigger. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now bring that leg back in line with the body. The bottom foot is slightly in a different position, so there should be a difference between those two legs. Push the hip down, and then we exhale, lift up. So now we're working slightly different area of the hips and glutes. Keep lifting that belly. Normally breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Slightly different to yoga. I think the breathing's slightly opposite, but if you're a yogi, you might be a bit confused right now. If you are confused, just breathe. Okay, one more. Now we're going to take both legs in alignment, lay out on the arm. I'm just out of camera shot now. It's very strange, this whole Facebook world. Okay, so squeeze the legs together, relax the neck completely, fingers resting here just for balance, and then just float the legs just a tiny amount off the floor. No crazy lifting to all the way to the ceiling. So keep it nice and aligned, holding it there, breathing normally. 2 and 1. Relax it down. You can do that one more time. Getting ready. Inhaling, lift the belly in and up, and then exhale, lift and float. Good. So feeling really strong here. All these waist muscles, both of them, the underneath ones and the top ones, they're both working really strongly to hold your legs in this position. So Pilates is a bit stealthy. You know, you kind of don't always feel it at the time, but the next day you might well do. Okay, so we're going to hold the top leg where it is, lower and lift the bottom leg, keeping it active. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that leg down. Good. Let's just come onto our back and just give the glutes a little bit of a stretch. We just work them quite a little bit. So let's just give them a little bit of a reward stretch, should I say. So we're going to cross one ankle over a knee, whichever one you want to do first, doesn't matter. Push the knee out to the side, and if you feel a stretch there already, stay there. If not, you want a little bit more, just reach through, hug that thigh in towards you, flex the foot that's on top to keep the knee safe, and just pull it in towards you. Try not to do this and lift the upper body too, because that will just create tension in the neck and the shoulders. And we don't want that. So relax the head down. Just breathe here. Inhale. If it's really tight, every time you exhale, just visualize these muscle fibers just releasing from each other. Good. And we're going to swap over. So feet come down, other foot comes on top, flex it, make sure it's nice and safe. Push the knee out to the side. If you can feel that, if your hips are tight, just stay there. If you want more, reach through. You might feel this a bit in your inner thighs as well, because we did work those a little bit.